And we are fully live. Welcome in, everyone. It is Sunday night, and Sunday night is good time. So, we are in Rogue Legacy tonight, because we made it to 2013. 2013 is a good place to be. And, we've made it here. Now, unlike most of the games in this whole History of Gaming series, we played this one before. There's a lot of stuff that we've been first timing. Stop that. I didn't want to do that. Alright. But there's been a lot of stuff that we're first timing. And this is not one of them. We have 100% completed this before. Which is why we will be doing challenge runs tonight. So, oh, one last check. We checked audio beforehand. We need to check that I can see chats from everyone. Because sometimes chat only halfway works. Chat looks like it's 100% working tonight, which is good news. So, what challenge run are we going to be doing? We're going to go for a low-life challenge run. And what that is this is a roguelite game. And what that means is that we are going to try to beat the game in as few lives as possible. If you're not familiar with the roguelite genre, it's a genre where you gradually accumulate power. You have one life, you try to accomplish your task. If you die, you reset, and you use the resources you got during that run in order to be stronger for the next one. So, doing it in fewer lives is harder, which is why it's a challenge run. Now, there is an achievement in the game for a low-life challenge run. The cutoff there is 12 lives, I believe. Now, I have not played Rogue Legacy in a while, so I 100%ed it years ago. But we can probably still beat 12. Will we get down to our personal best? Who knows? We're not going to have time for a lot of runs tonight because this is a challenge run, not a speed run. Because the whole point of a low life run is that you try to do as much as possible each life, which is much different than going for a speed run of like trying to beat it as fast as possible. So, without further ado, we've got audio, we've got video. We need to change profile. New game plus 10, new game plus 5, new game plus 1. Yes. Alright. Now, unlike what is most standard, we are going to be playing this on keyboard, which is not the suggested method. In fact, something I just discovered today. Hello, Yordi. Welcome in. So, yes, playing on keyboard is not recommended. In fact, it's so unrecommended that you're actually warned now. You didn't used to be warned, but when I opened it up on Steam, they were like, hey, you know, you should probably put a controller in. This is a controller game. Just like, how about no? I've 100%ed this game on keyboard. I will continue playing with the keyboard. Thank you very, very much. I don't think I get to keep this gold, so I think this is just wasting time. But I am not 100% sure. See, I just tried to actually use some movement abilities that I don't even have yet. They only unlock later. Which is actually one of the things that makes this low-life challenge run quite difficult, is if you don't manage to get the movement runes, it can be really tricky, especially on the bosses. Yeah, see, we don't keep the gold. Alright. This is where we're setting the tone for the whole thing. We want as much money as possible in this first life. because we really need our upgrades for later. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing a little bit scared. Because we have no way of healing besides random chicken drops. So we really, really need to be... Oh, but it's still a little loud. But yeah, we can't double jump up any of this. Oh, okay. See? See, I probably shouldn't even have done that. That's an unnecessary risk. Come on. There we go. Alright. So these eyes, they're going to shoot wherever you are, which means it is easy to bait their shots. But it can get nasty if there are, like, a bunch of them on the screen. This is one of those things about Rogue Legacy, and various other games similar to it, is that it would be really nice to beat him, but with no movement abilities and no upgrades, I don't really want to fight the mini-boss. I don't want to fight that room either. Let's see if we can't get out of here. At least the guys aren't upgraded yet, so it makes them relatively easy to fight. Okay, is there another guy down below me? Because one reason that we do want to fight this room... Come on, walk towards me. I want the coins that he drops, I don't want him to fall onto the spikes. Walk towards me, thank you. And he didn't even drop any coins. This is an upgraded guy. Fortunately, as long as you don't freak out... see, that's 30 gold down the drain because I couldn't pick it up. Oh well. Or rather, I could pick it up if I were willing to take the hit and the damage, but... What did we get? Oh, probably not? Like, maybe. So, Grace Runes actually reduce the difficulty, which might be useful for when we decide on doing our final run. But in general, they're a little bit of a downside in that it usually means that, well, when things are weaker, they don't drop as much gold. And the whole point of our non-final runs is that, well, we want to get as much gold as possible with each life, because we're trying to get the most per life possible. Knight Helm. Alright, that's decent. Alright, so we already got one pattern off of a chest. Alright, what do we have here? Alright. You'll note that because we have no upgrades, we count as level 0. And because this is, in theory, the third... Yeah, see, those guys are enemies, but we don't want to fight them. Those, as you see, the chests are shaking. They are mimics. So the whole point of this, the name of the game on the low life run is don't take fights that we're not, like, very confident in. And the only way we can go further up is if we go through this room with the mimics. And no. With the mimics and the green guy there, and the archers that are going to shoot down at us, we're going to skip that and go back this way. So where can we go? We need to go out through the top and then off to the left. So there are 4 different zones to the castle. Well, technically, there's the castle, which is where we are now. And then there's the forest to the right. There's the darkness down below. And the Maya, I think, is what the part up top is called. Okay, stop. No. There we go. We want to reset the thing. We didn't want any missiles flying through the air, is basically what we were doing there. There we go. Okay. We're doing okay so far. No, stop that. So, the RNG for when they cast their abilities versus not cast their abilities is kind of reset as soon as you exit and re-enter the room. Which is why, when he started casting an ability at a place that I didn't want him to, we just left. It's fine. Also, we have a very forgiving head hitbox. Note, doesn't hit us. So our hitbox is actually significantly shorter than the sprite, which is just something you learn over time if you put enough hours in. Ooh, almost got me there. Okay, we got him. You might have also noticed that the sword does in fact hit things through walls, which is very convenient for us. Alright. So, you just noticed we took a hit. Did 16 damage to us. Which, given that one healing item heals us for 10, and we only have 100 health, you can tell that we need to be very, very careful about not getting hit. Also of note, you can see that the icicles that the blue guys are shooting don't go through walls, whereas the eyeball shots do go through walls, which makes them quite a bit more annoying if there's a bunch of stuff in the room, because they can all shoot at you at the same time. There we go. Alright, well, in theory we shouldn't waste this, because this is a healing fountain. But we'll waste it a little bit. It heals for 30, and we'd only taken, what did I say? Was it 12 or 18? In any case, so we wasted it a little bit, just because I wasn't sure we'd get a chance to come back. There we go. Okay, more gold. Now, what we want the most out of chests is, if we can get it, if we had our choices, is obviously we want gold in order for us to be able to buy things. But the other thing that we want is blueprints. Specifically, we want weapon blueprints, if at all possible. Because the difference in difficulty, besides being able to one-shot things and being able to two-shot things, is huge. Like, for example, right there, I wouldn't have taken damage if I had one-shot that. Because I got a swing in when I went towards it, but it wasn't enough to kill it. Alright, so this is the way to the darkness. Alright, well we can get past that without too much difficulty. Because this is just run fast. Okay, that was brutal. Dropped straight down onto something that hits us for 60. This is why going into the darkness is dangerous, because it just wipes out almost all of my health immediately. So that's really, really bad. We might have just hosed our run with that one mistake, but we'll see what we can do to recover. Alright, I was worried about the painting a little bit at first. But fortunately, that one was just a painting, not a living painting. Alright, let's see. This is pay gold. This is a gamble. And I don't feel like gambling. Not on our first life. We want the stability. No. Okay. So... now we're gonna go right here. If for nothing else, if we can find the route to the forest, there's another guaranteed bit of health there. Actually, we'll kill this guy while we're here. If you're quick with it, you can hit them twice before they actually complete their first cycle off screen. And therefore, make things easier. Okay. I'm gonna go this way, reset. Alright. There we go. Now we are in a more dangerous area. The forest is technically the second area. Having those guys below me is pretty nasty. Alright, so we're pretty much blocked on the Maya up top. We're blocked on the darkness down below. We do have the area, one area of the castle we haven't hit yet. I might try to kill the boss here, actually. No, we explore the other part of the castle first. That hit we took from the darkness has just really messed us up. What was over here? Alright, we got one of those guys and one of these guys. Fortunately, once we get in position, those guys are easy to kill. Got any more chicken for me? No, no chicken. Alright, actual chest. Okay, what's here? Ooh, more chicken. Excellent. Zombies, not a problem if we hit them from below. There is a chest up here. Just double checking. Ooh, very lucky with the chickens. So if you stay directly beneath the skeletons, they can't hit you. The thing is, it's been so long since I've played, I don't remember if 2000 is a good starting point or not. So that's a living painting, and therefore that's why we were running away. We were trying to not jump into it. So we took another 20 damage from the spikes there. There we go. Is this the way to the... yes, okay. More guaranteed health. Bitch. Right, so the green one can hit me here because his come up from below. But the fire one cannot. Excellent. Come on now. There we go. Alright, we've got a green caster dude down below, so we don't want to mess with that. Oh, he hit us a second time. That's just straight up death. That would have been really nice if we had, for example, lifesteal, but we don't, so... Also, we are still one-shot by wolves. They were hitting for 35, and we are at 34 health. So, not ideal. Ooh, we're to the point that it's taken 3 hits to kill things. That doesn't bode well for us. And round 2. There we go. Alright, so we have an eye, we have an archer. We have another route. We can try to go up. Well, it takes a long time to get him through the shield, but we don't have a dash or a double jump to get over him, so that's what we're going to do to get past him. Alright. We want to go left. Oh, I needed one more hit. That's what I was saying about it's way, way easier if you can kill things in fewer hits, because you can kill them to make space while other things are about to hit you. Alright, what do we want? We don't want vertigo. A gay knight, that's fine. And an endomorph Dexter card, no. We will be gay! Gay is the way to be. Alright, unlock the smithy. Alright, 250 to get a sword. Plus 7 damage. Going from 25 to 32. Big, big upgrade. Knight helm. Also, big upgrade. These, I don't use my magic enough. It is not worth the money. Alright, health up. Upgrade the knight. Upgrade equipment. Unlock architect. Unlock enchantress. Magic damage up. Attack up. Upgrade barbarian. Unlock shinobi. Where is armor? I think armor is up top. That's like 500 to unlock. So this is 2 damage per upgrade. Right. We're gonna go heavily into damage. Oh, I forgot that I unlocked you. And now I don't have enough gold to unlock or to actually get a double jump. So I have screwed myself over, which is fine. We'll just go forward with having a little bit more health and a lot more damage. Like last time, we had, what was it, 100 health, and we were hitting for 25. Now we're hitting for 42. So we're hitting way, way harder. And we've got a little bit more health. But perhaps almost as important as the max health is that the healing drops are based off of your max health. They're percentage based. So instead of Chicken healing me for 10, Chicken now heals me for 13. There we go. There we go. go. That sort of section is so much easier if you have any sort of movement abilities. A dash, a double jump, means I no longer have to make every single one of those down attacks. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Alright. Well, healing shrine here. Good to know. We don't need it yet. Ooh, right. We hit hard enough that those die in one hit now, which is very nice. Oh, I shouldn't have picked that up. The chicken does go away if you leave this particular window, like once you change rooms. But you don't have to eat it immediately. You can choose to, you know, save it for later on in the same room. There we go. Mini boss down. Blood Limbs, which is lifesteal. In a wrist slot, which I think is something I want. Because wrist slot is usually magic power, but because I don't tend to use magic much, that's sort of a dead slot for me. I mean, we did take a hit, which is not ideal. But hey. The question here is, do we fight the boss? We have upgraded attacks, so it won't take us as many hits. And as we were just talking about with the with being able to leave chicken there for later, we'll do that just in case we mess up fighting this knight. Knight limbs. Okay. Knight limbs is probably not one that we care about. Because as I mentioned, that is probably just one of the ones that is more magic power. Alright, we'll fight the first boss. This is a very, very risky strategy because I could have taken the safe path and been like, yeah, I will clear as much of the castle as possible and get a bunch of gold that way. Ow. 45, okay. It's unfortunate that he exactly 3-shots me. One, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. Okay, just barely. Got a couple thousand gold. And permanent upgrades. Ooh, armor and health. Very nice. Alright, that's one boss that's down. Because we took a bunch of damage, we will take a little bit of healing now. We'll take the safe route, go this way. Yeah, I would need to be tiny to get in there. There we have the advantage of the one-hit kill. It is unfortunate that we took a hit there, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been, because we got armor. And armor, as could probably be predicted from the name, makes you take less damage. Just not gonna fight the mimics. Okay. So there's a gun to the left. There's a dog to the right. I don't know how we get out of there without taking damage. Wait, can we jump up and left? Maybe. We can. No. Okay, gamble time. Compass. Kinda neutral. It tells me things that I already know. Or that I don't really care about, actually. Yeah, we're not gonna do that room, not without a movement ability. Oh, good. A little bit more healing. Yeah, I don't want to go through that room. Let's double check again. Yeah, no. I mean, I guess I am a knight, so I do have a shield that I can block with, but... Oh, he got the throw off in time. There we go. So yeah, if you haven't noticed yet, the eyes always shoot directly at you and their bullets go through everything, whereas the other guys, the guys that are shooting all the little fireballs, they operate differently. A little bit further. There we go. So it's going to land right where those coins are. And these guys are completely predictable. They don't shoot at like different angles or anything. Son of a bitch. I knew I shouldn't have gone in there. Well, we did kill the boss and a mini-boss, but still not that much gold. Barbarian Queen, no. Knave. Barbarian Queen it is. Alright, first things first. We check our equipment. We get vampirism. We lose health in order to heal ourselves a little bit. Right. But we want a dash and a double jump. Then we need to spend one here on unlocking Shinobi. Another equip up. So that we can put on our vampirism bracers. I swear armor is up here and to the left, if I recall correctly. Upgrade Shinobi. Lich. We might just want to go for more health. This is like crit chance, and I don't really care about crit chance. Like, it's super, super powerful later, but right now, I don't think it is. I'm just hoping that armor is over here. There it is. Armor up. We're all about the sustain. So we have 260, 400. 260... Hopefully it only goes up to 280 and I can double hit it. Oh, it needs 310 and I only have 300. I guess we take magic damage up. Alright, so we are Barbarian Queen this time, as opposed to Knight. So, what do we get for this? Well, we get more health, low strength, and low magic. Now, our strength is still better than it was our first run. Our first run we were only hitting for 25. Last run we were hitting for 42. Now we're somewhere in the middle at 31. So, there is that. We now have a little bit more armor. We now also have movement abilities. We also, I don't know if you noticed, but we did theoretically heal for 2. Killing that guy. Note that this vampirism is on kill, not on hit, so it isn't that great against most bosses. The exception being the forest boss, because the forest boss spawns a lot of ads, and it can be super, super powerful against him. We also have this ability. Which, while it does knock enemies back, and that's nice and all, its main use is that it removes all projectiles from the screen. Ugh. I took 2 hits in this room. That's really, really bad. I mean, the plus side is that it's an early room. It's like a castle room, so nothing hits us as hard. So there's that. It's not like that first life that we're like, hey, let's just get hit by the one dude in this room, and it's like gonna hit us for 60. Like, oh, that's too much. We go left first, I guess. You're gonna shoot a thing at me? Thank you. Collecting the gold. Ooh, 3 hits to take care of that guy. So when these guys get upgraded later on, they'll shoot at more angles, like not just straight ahead. Alright. Now, what would be really good for us would be if we are able to walk into like the Maya or the Darkness and the boss room is like really close by. Because that would mean that we could, what? That we could do the thing and the stuff. That we could grab the chests, because the boss room always comes with chests. Where are we? We can try to go down here. Immediately go left. Got him. Alright. There we go. Come on. Float closer to me so I may hit you with my sword. As you can tell, we are able to play a lot more aggressively now that we have movement abilities. We can actually like dodge things with some degree of competency. The ninjas, however, are a little tricky. we're going to have to abuse this ledge a little bit to do it safely. If he decides to let us. Walk forward, please. Thank you. A little bit more, please. One more. One more. There we go. And that's why it's worth it. Because the chest down here in the darkness... Alright, we took a hit, and we used up all of our shouts and all. It was probably not a good enough trade. Alright, well that's enough exploring the darkness for now. We are a little bit too low on health and mana to want to do much more exploring. I say as I immediately land on a zombie that I could have easily dodged and take a bunch of damage. Alright, what happened there is I thought I had enough mana for a shout, and I did not. So I tried to shout to get rid of the projectiles. And go figure, you need spell points for that, and I did not have them. So we took a hit. Fortunately, we do have these, which help us a little bit. Alright, so this run is not going as well as the last two. The last two we each ended up with like 3,000, I want to say. And we're only at 1,600. And keep in mind, in theory, we should be better than we were before. No jumping. Got it. Curse rune. Okay. Well, Curse Rune is, again, not one that I really care that much about. It's the opposite of the rune we mentioned earlier, which is the one that makes things easier, the Grace Rune. Curse Rune makes things harder, which is cool if you're trying to, like, farm chests and all. But if you're not, it just means you die more, and dying is the opposite of what we want. Excellent. So you can see that we can't refight the boss, so we can't get a bunch of, like, free gold that way. But the boss room does still contain chests, and it does still contain healing and mana potions, so. Go. Okay. I jumped because sometimes these walls have a gap in the bottom that the missile guys can shoot through. Fortunately, we're good to go this time. We jumped there because the health of these guys actually changes significantly as you get into different levels. So the guy that you were one-shotting a little bit ago is not necessarily going to be one-shot as you progress further. So you have to be careful of that. Okay, so we're using up all of our recovery, what's-its. I can't believe I just let it run into me twice. And now I'm stuck. Yeah, can I technically do a really short jump? and take out the wolf? Yes. But it's a jump that I'm not confident in. So I didn't want to do it. Alright. Took out one. There we go. Now we can get this guy here, make him easy to dodge. Got that. Okay, so there's a horse. And a wolf. 2 wolves. Inside me there are 2 wolves, so they're about to be. Watch for the spike. Come on. Got him. Alright, wolves run instead of jumping. That's fine with me. Can I fight him? Probably. We're just gonna leave. We're gonna leave that little bit on the ground for safety. All right. We have Archer down in the middle. Okay. I wanted to check off to the side here because if we go too far to the side, or if I hadn't checked first, I might have just hit the guy. And then after I hit him, got knocked back by the shield. Like that, unexpectedly. And when you get knocked back unexpectedly into unknown areas, that's when you take a ton of damage. Yeah. Alright, we need to get to the lower right. That's unfortunate. Okay, no jumping again. There we go. Siphon Rune. Okay, so Siphon Rune is the pair to the Vampirism Rune, which gives you spell points when you kill things. As we took from the big guy in the Maya, or the upgraded version of the little floaty ghost things in the Maya, they will straight up just like float up beneath you and hit you if you're not careful. And much as I was not careful before and got punished for it, we're being more careful this time. Oh, I was hoping for chicken. Okay. Chicken. Chicken's at least giving me 18 each. Silver Helm. I forget if that's what I want or not. The thing about helms is that we already have the Knight Helm. There we go. So there was a neat little optimization thing we did there, which is that when you kill him, the ball becomes a separate thing in the level. And if it dies, it's affected by the Vampirism Rune. So by killing him while the ball was in the wall, we got an extra 2 health off of it. I got the timing wrong there. I greeted and I was punished. There's nothing here. Like, there's a door, but I can get to the door easily this way instead. So this is a classic Flash game. This game, the picture here is representing an old game called Don't Shit Yourself, which is a text-based adventure game wherein you try to not shit yourself. And it's essentially like, if you've ever done that exercise of like, well, just give written instructions on how to tie your shoes. And then you have someone who's going to read the directions and try to mess it up. It's like, you think the directions are clear, but then they're like, oh, but you didn't say I had to blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, alright. So that's basically what the Don't Shit Yourself game was. It's just like, alright, you gotta tell them that. It's like, okay, sit on the toilet, alright, now you can poop. It's like, you didn't say to pull your pants down. You accidentally shat yourself. It's like, oh, okay, alright, pull the pants down, then go. It's like, no, you only said to pull the pants down, not the underwear, so you still shat yourself. So it's very much in the vein of, like, unfair text adventures. Or at least as far as I recall. This is a game that was very, very old. Alright, so we were at super, super low health. And now we are just at, you know, low health. Now, where are we going? Okay, we go into this room. Aww. Come on. Slightly too tall to get hitting my sword off the edge. There we go. Now you might think, oh, that's super easy. He's stuck against the wall. Just hit him. It's like, no. Sometimes they will unstick themselves from the wall unexpectedly, and then you just take damage like an idiot because you walked up to the enemy. Okay. More gold. See, we're doing better. I was a little worried earlier when we were at really low health and like only 1,600 gold. But, as I said, vampirism runes help a lot. Or in this case, vampirism bracers. Plus, we've gotten relatively lucky on chicken. There we go. We need to go further right. The thing is, I don't know if this is a good character to try to beat the forest boss with. Because the forest boss spams ads, and Barbarian is low damage. So having a low damage character on a boss that's going to spam ads is not usually a good thing. Now, the Vampirism rune is a very good thing to have against the forest boss, but we're going to have that on every character going... I keep calling it a rune when we actually have Vampirism from the bracers, not from a rune. But I have found that for this boss, being something like Shinobi is super beneficial, because Shinobi, like, their big downside is that they cannot crit, which is fine. I don't have any crit chance at this point anyway. But in exchange, they hit very hard. Okay, so what did we have? We had a fire guy, and we had a ghost guy, and we have a chest. Okay. More gold. not ideal. Like, ideally, we get the most broken gear possible. Although, the most broken gear possible depends on the level of the zone where you dropped it. Or where the chest was that dropped it. There we go. So what do we get? Squire chest. Yeah. So, Squire chest is definitely an upgrade. The question is whether it's worth it to upgrade. As opposed to, say... Alright, so it took all of our spell points, but we got a haste rune. Haste rune is just a basic, it's flat move speed. Permanent HP increase. Now, when I could have gotten potentially, like, a piece of armor that gives me, like, 50 armor. Well, no, maybe not 50, like 30. If we got, like, the Guardian chest, then that seems way less impressive. But, you know, 5 permanent health is 5 permanent health. Alright. Thank you for coming over here. Darn it. And I don't even get the gold from them. Boo. Come on, go. Throw, please. Come on. And pop. And pop. We took a hit in that room, so that room is a loss. Which is basically how these things go. At this point, taking a hit in a room means that we are falling behind. Fortunately, we're good enough to clear most rooms without taking hits. Alright, so we need to go all the way left and then drop down and go right again. But it looks like we're coming up on the end of our first hour, which means it's about time for a health and wellness break. You might be wondering, I was like, wait, what is that? Why are we breaking? Well, we are no longer 20, so we want to make sure that we don't get blood clots, and just, we all know, like, everyone knows that just sitting and staring at screens for long periods of time isn't good for us. So, we're going to pull an old school. After these messages, we'll be right back. So, the game will be paused, and everyone can go away, grab a drink, grab a snack, use the bathroom, all that good stuff, and then I'll see everyone when we come back. In 3-ish minutes. Be right back. Alright, we have returned. So, I hope everyone had a good break. The question is, what are we going to do next? So, we explored a little bit in the darkness. We explored a little bit... the Maya here, like, there's a wolf sitting right there, so we don't want to do that. We've gotten... looks like all of the forest explored. Oh, wait, no. We need to go left and then down one and then right. But the other option is that we could try to fight the forest boss. Yeah, we didn't take the down below path over here. Okay, so... go. Standard shield type enemies, gotta hit them from behind. Ooh, almost got thrown into the spike ball. Alright, and let's see what's in this room right here. Another gamble. Let's not gamble. Alright, so that is the forest completely explored. So we're gonna go all the way out here to the upper left. Alright, and we'll just double check that I'm remembering correctly on the Maya situation. Yeah, we've got cursed paintings on both sides. So, actually, we can do this number. You okay? I heard a noise. One moment. Is everything okay?
Yep.
Okay.
She jumped off the bed onto my
Okay, no, the camera is on, for your information. I would not want you, like, to be unaware. Okay. What? Alright. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. Of course. And I continue on this challenge run that I just took a bunch of damage that I don't know how I will recover from. Alright. So this guy, this is definitely one that you want your movement runes for. And now we die. We got the pattern wrong. Alright, well, it started off a little rough, but not terrible. Mage, we don't want a mage. Knave, we also don't want a knave. Barbarian King with dwarfism and tunnel vision? This is not good. I guess we go for the knave. No, Alzheimer's is a major problem. Alright, we go for the tiny king. Alright, so these cost $6.50. Let's check on our equipment and other stuff first. No, not worth paying for the silver helm. Squire's armor is... Squire's Justice plus 9 armor. It's probably worth it. What do we have here? Now we have sprint instead of double jump. So, none of that. Alright, we'll take the Siphon Rune, because why not? We will... I guess we'll buy the chest. We can't put it on yet, because we need to buy a little bit more equipment space. Haha, take that, bot. Oh, and second one gone too. Alright, so 600, 480, 420. Oh, okay. Well, we now have not a lot more strength. Like, we upgraded our strength, but it still gets nerfed by being a barbarian. And we have a bit more armor, we have a little bit of crit. Not enough for it to matter any. And we have a little bit of siphon, so there's that going for us, which is okay. But it is, this is going to be a rough one. We got a pretty bad character. Because, on the one hand, our hitbox is tiny. On the other hand, our hitbox is tiny. So it makes it harder for me to hit things, but it also makes it harder for other things to hit me. Which just means I need to be very precise with my positioning. Man, wait, that guy hit me for, like, 20-something? Huh. I thought I had armor. Okay. Down we go. Okay. So, our primary goals here are mostly about gathering as many chests as possible. Okay. And to that end, we want to explore the castle. We want to find all the boss rooms. Even if we're not fighting the bosses yet, we want to find the boss rooms. In order to get the chests. See? I thought I would kill him there. Can you tell that I'm not as confident about this run? I'm playing recklessly, even though I should be playing more carefully. Because I guess I'm just not confident, and I'm just like, well, go next. I'll get a character I'm going to be better at playing next time. Which is really not what we should be doing. It's in fact a terrible strategy. Because it's not a strategy, it's just me playing poorly. However, because we are dwarf, we can fit through these cracks. So we get bonus gold here, which is nice. Alright, so this setup requires that you have the chakram spell. Because you can shoot it the other direction, and if you get out of the way, when it boomerangs back to you, it'll just go all the way across the screen. And when it does, you can kill them right there. But we don't have it, so we cannot do that. Alright. Go one further to the right. So we have an opportunity. I feel like there's going to be a zombie here or something. Nope. Alright. Well, the good news is we got like 400 gold from that. And we managed to do it while not getting hit, which is important. Alright, so we have a big room there with 3 things on the bottom. Alright. Safe for now. No looking. Alright. So we backslide into it. Sky Rune. Not one that I find useful. It lets you fly. And I don't want to fly, I want to double jump. I find it easier to control. Okay. Ooh, okay. Compass. It points the way to the boss room, I believe. We need to be very careful about this. Like, actually fighting to kill this guy is a bad idea, but it worked out for us. So at least we've got that going for us. Alright, on the plus side, as we have dwarfism, we can actually get in there. On the downside, that means actually having to fight these guys. Alright, we are down to 1 health. We have 1 health in a dream because we fell onto a guy with 120 strength, which hits us for half of our health. Alright. Helios' Blessing is very nice. Oh, that's not good. I was hoping I could just run over to the left, but now I'm kind of screwed. I think we go down, over, back up, and to the right. So what we're actually hoping for here is we're hoping to find the boss room, and then use the teleporter in the boss room to get out of the darkness area. Alright, yeah. This whole having hit guys 5 times in order to, This eye is a major problem. Oh, see? See? I was 1 hit away. Alright, we have a huge mage. We have a tunnel vision Hokage. And an ADHD knave. Alright, Hokage it is. Did we get anything? We got the flying rune, right? Yeah. Okay. 550, 630. Right. Off we go. This is already life 4 or 5, so we're definitely not hitting our personal best here. And also, it matters way more when we take hits now, because we're getting healed like half as much as we were before. Because before, we were playing a class with extra life. Now we're playing a class with low life. Fortunately, we hit ridiculously hard, which makes some things much, much easier. So we might be more successful in the harder difficulty areas, because we can actually burst things down and then not have to worry about them as much. Also, we move a little faster, which is nice. We'll start on the left-hand side and work our way over. Ah, Hedgehog's Curse. That's problematic. So what the Hedgehog's Curse does is, if you're familiar with the Sonic games, when Sonic gets hit by things, he drops all of his rings. And in this context, that means when we get hit, we lose money. Which is, you know, not great, seeing as our whole shtick right now is trying to accumulate as much money in as few lives as possible. Now, the good news is, because we kill things so easily, we do end up at an advantage for this whole healing ourselves thing. And there we go, that's the Hedgehog's Curse. But, as you can see, see, we're trying to go too fast, and we're getting sloppy, and now we're nearly dead. This is where the damage reflect rune would have been handy. Not because it's a good source of actual damage. Like, they have so much more health than me that that's not really a useful thing. Alright, and we're nearly dead now because we missed our down attack. I shouldn't be doing this. Right. So, I'm gonna wait for the diagonal bouncing one to come back. Go. We healed a little bit off of killing all that stuff, so that part's nice. And we get 2 chests, so that part's nice. The trick is not dying on the way out. Yeah, no. With the ninja there, that's too dangerous to fight, which is unfortunate, because that cuts off an entire zone, basically, that I'm not going to be able to explore. That said, I was probably going to die while exploring the forest and the Maya anyway, so not being able to hit the darkness is maybe not as big a deal. Obviously, it would be a really big deal if we actually managed to, say, find the boss room and find some good blueprints down there. Because that's the high-level area, that's where the best blueprints are. But hey, we at least get some gold here. This has a chest up top. Ooh, closer than I wanted that to be. Ooh, we got chicken. At least I've got chicken. Okay. We want to go to the left here, because there's other stuff that we haven't explored off the edge of this. Now, sometimes you might think, like, well, maybe we should leave the, we should leave some of this stuff up so that we can maybe try to get chickens out of it later. And to that I say, it's like, well, 1, we've already taken damage, so that's not the scenario that we're looking at right now. And 2, it's like, but these things also have gold in them. So we don't want to leave any gold behind. And we take another hit. Go. Go. Okay. So we were trying to bait him to shoot into the wall, and it was successful. We are very good at baiting. Not yet master tier, but we're getting there. Oh, we have another route into the darkness. We will investigate that here in a minute. There we go. Because, as I said before, if we can get into the darkness boss room, there might be some really good rewards there. There we go. Needed to line that up properly. Alright, where's the other one? There's the other one. And an eye. And the eye hits me because I rushed it. Yeah, we'll go up to this one. Reset his attack pattern. Everything is fine. Okay. Well, we're doing a little bit better on health. For the time being, until we take another big shot. You know, I still haven't found the castle boss room yet. So we probably want to explore the rest of the castle section first before we head into the Maya. Because, as always, the boss rooms have guaranteed chests in them. One. Thank you. Granted, hopefully they give a little bit more gold than that chest, but you know. What's in here? There's nothing down below. I don't really care about the axe, do I? Yeah, we'll swap to the axe, sure, why not? Alright, so we still haven't found the castle boss room, which means it's off to the right there? Alright, so we go back all the way left. We take the teleport to the Maya teleport. And then from here, we want to head down this way, and then we want to head down 2 and then right. So not this one, but this one. Then we want to go all the way right. Okay, a little bit of gold. And more gold. Alright. Good. Now we get to explore the forest. So, as I mentioned earlier, I think the Shinobi is a good class to play the forest boss. So, if we find the forest boss, we should actually try to fight it. Although we might want to explore the Maya a little bit first. There's a sort of a risk-reward thing going on there, though. Because we want to face him with, like, full health. But on the other hand, It's like, well, if we win, well, no harm, no foul, everything's good. But if we lose a lot. Especially having the Hedgehog's Curse. Like, it looks like we have 3,000 gold, but in actuality, we're probably closer to like 2,700. Because if we're taking hits, and that's how we die, is we take hits, we start losing a bunch of gold every time we get hit. And therefore, we don't actually have that much gold. Because we can't take it with us. Unless we find a second one of those shrines, and it gives us a different little boon thing. Which we did last time. We found the compass and then we swapped it to Helios's Blessing. And then we didn't get any use out of Helios's Blessing because we died before we fought things. Rewarded for switching to the axe. Oh look, another Grace Rune. How nice for us. Okay. So how we doing? We have full health, so that's nice. We don't have full mana, so that's less nice. What's up here? Skeleton. Alright, you're dead. That's a lot of dudes. Now, a lot of dudes is not as big a deal for Shinobi. That other room is possibly a nightmare. Yes. We did, in our haste, take a hit. But I won't say it was deliberate, but it was calculated. That one was not as calculated. Alright, so we took 2 hits in order to get another Grace Rune. Well, we can heal our health a little bit. So that's nice. Okay. I hear slimes. There we go. Is there anything in here? No, just things to kill and break. Understood. Well, the good news is we're back to close to full health. And we said we probably, or at least potentially, wanted to fight the boss in here. Well, there's our full health. We have a decent amount of health. We have a decent amount of gold. You know what? Let's do it. We have a little bit of health. We have a little bit of... we have health. We have damage. We have healing. Okay. This is the one I'd mentioned that, you know, the boss has a bunch of ads. So, it's really helpful to be on something like Shinobi that can one-shot the ads. do have, however, still need to be able to actually kill the boss and not die. I think we still only need to hit the boss one more time. Make that 3 more times. Well, we got him. And yes, I don't know why you get his whole sprite even without the whole sprite, without any of the transparency, is just burned into the screen when you kill him. Why? Who knows? You'd think if it were a bug they would have fixed it, but you know, the game's 13 years old. Who cares? MP HP strength. Alright, 2 bosses down. Alright, where else can we explore in here? We can go down and to the right. I heard slimes, and I heard the guys who... And I heard, I believe, the green guys. So let's check upper left first. Alright, what's in here? Back door to the Maya. Cool. Do we keep exploring the Maya, or do we go over here for that chest? That pair of chests. There's a good chance that pair of chests kills me, though, so maybe we explore this a little further first. Or this kills me. I think that just hit me for 60. So good news. You can get a lot of money here in the Maya. Nope, not going in that room. That room's just straight up death. Okay. Easy chests? No, okay. How about easy chests at the other end of this? Alright, 2 chests on the left-hand side. Alright. That is not a chest, that is a mimic. That's a real one. Ooh, Ranger chest. Ranger chest might be good. Much better than my current one. I forgot that with the Maya being higher level, you'd have a better chance of getting, not gold, but blueprints. Silver sword, ooh, that's pretty nice. There we go. Lots of gold. That's a dead end, so we don't bother. Yeah, we go down. Okay, when we came into this room, we were running away from stuff, so we need to be very careful on our way back. We want to go to the left is advancing, to the right is running away. The shinobi down there is cause for concern. They move a lot more randomly than a lot of other stuff in the game does. which is why I said it's cause for concern, because it's much riskier to approach them than a lot of other things, just because it's harder to tell which way they're going to move. Which is why we try to get a good angle on them. Ooh, yes, more chests. Ranger limbs, probably not going to use them. We will take food. Okay. More food? No, I'm too bad at fighting against wolves. Defeat all enemies. Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know what can even hit that one besides, like, Raven. And Raven is a very special spell that, like, only liches can use. Alright, are there any chests in here? No, okay. I don't think it's worth trying to defeat that by dropping in there, so I think we're done with our Maya exploration. Unless we want to try the boss. I think we try for the double chest in the forest. No, we go down first. Down. Oh, right, there's a fountain here. Son of a bitch. Got hit, lost a bunch of gold. I thought it was just the casters and the slimes. I was not expecting the spike balls. So we panicked, and we lost a bunch of health. But we did win. Our lifesteal came in clutch. Because we currently have 35 life, and I'm pretty sure we would have been dead if we weren't lifestealing. Alright, so, this one down below, we have unexplored areas. No. Probably not worth it. Anything here that's like flying or unpredictable? Okay, there's the skeleton there who can mess me up a little bit. Because his stuff can come through the wall. Please jump at me, slime. There we go. Please jump again, slime. Thank you. So the skeleton is pretty far down. Alright. We made it. Okay. See, and now I'm gonna have to run back the other way to pick up all the gold that I dropped when I took a hit the first time. Alright, what's over here? Is it free health? No. Okay, maybe it is a little bit of free health. We got some healing off of the guys we killed. We got a little bit of chicken drop. Very nice. So what's all this then? This is just a transit area. Well, I want to check this other room, because this is an isolated room. Excellent. Okay. So, we've fully explored the forest, except for whatever is in that upper left room, if I wanted to go there. Alternatively, we could head down and try to see what we can see in the darkness. Or we could fight the Maya boss. You know what? I think it's Maya boss time. How do we get there? We drop down, we go to the right. We go up. We don't get hit by the spike ball. That's what we don't do. There we go. All right. Mr. Ponce de Leon. Man, I don't know if I'm just getting unlucky, but I feel like the spike ball positions this time are really, really bad. Oh, yep, got my timing wrong. How close was he? He wasn't that far, right? Maybe like half. The good news is we got a lot of money. Knave, don't want that. Mage, don't want that. Paladin, stereo blind, and ADHD. Okay. I can go for Paladin. Yeah, we lost like 1,000 gold there, just left on the ground due to Hedgehog's curse. Alright, so we got a couple blueprints. Silver sword, plus 10 damage. Helm, not worth the upgrade. Ranger chest. Alright, we need 5 weight upgrades to use it. So, we start at just over 10,000. And in exchange... Alright. So we get 38 armor for 4,500 gold. Which, if we want to compare, 38 armor would be 19 of these upgrades, which would put us at 19 times 7 is about 130. So it's way cheaper than buying the armor up upgrades. And that's assuming that these stay at 700. They do not. The more you buy, the more expensive it gets. But, oh, we have other stuff. Oh, we can get magic and health in the ranger limbs. No. No. Okay. And then this, what do we get? We got more grace runes. Do we want a retaliation rune? I'm going to say yes. If for no other reason, then we still have to fight that third boss that we just died to. And retaliation rune means if we get hit by the by one of the orbs, the orb dies too. Alright, so here's where we decide if we want to greed or not. Because the thing here is, like, we could get more fighting upgrades. Like, get a bunch more health, get more attack. Or we could come over here and try to get gold drop upgrades. Which is good long-term, but the whole point is that we're not trying to be long-term. We're trying to be short-term. So I think we go with the fighting upgrades. So that's 1,300. Alright, so we can't get one of each. We can probably double up on health, though. Let's see, that's 750, that's 800, that's 800. Got a better sword, we got a... Alright, so we have 400 something. Which is not enough to... Alright, it's enough to unlock this cloak. We can't put it on because we don't have the weight, but... The money was going to go to waste anyway, so... Might as well grab it, just in case we want to put it on later. Alright, so... We're back to the average character. Paladin has average damage, average armor, average health. It is your starting class. So you don't have the tons of health that the Barbarian has. You don't have the tons of damage that the Shinobi has. We're just kind of an all-rounder. There we go. Okay. So, as always, our goal here... Alright, so we can't get there. We need to be small to get that fairy chest. So no fairy chest for us because we are too big. Oddly enough, I've gotten the distinct impression that... Actually, no, we're not going to go there. I'm not gay enough to make a fairy joke without it probably being offensive. There we go. Note that we're not really taking nearly as much damage anymore. We're taking hits left and right, but we went from 10 armor to 48. So these low-level guys don't really hurt us much anymore, which is great for this whole, like, well, we have a little bit of lifesteal and we sometimes get healed a little bit. So taking less damage really does a lot for those break-even points, where it's just like, are we gradually getting chipped down, or are we able to stay at high health? And now that we have some armor, we're much more able to stay at high health. Oh, interesting. One of the things on the wall broke because of our retaliation rune. You know, I was thinking about the spike balls, but I forgot that things like that also take damage from retaliation. And also, of course, like, these random guys also take damage from the retaliation runes, but that's really less important, because they have so much more health that it doesn't really matter. Ooh, we ran into something that doesn't get one-shot. A couple things that don't get one-shot, but that one was like a mini-boss. Well, not properly a mini-boss. It's a fully upgraded one of these ghost guys that you don't usually see until you get to New Game Plus. But, here it's like a mini-boss guarding this chest. Oh, I killed it in the wall, so I can't get the gold. Go. How dare you have a shield and your back to the wall? That is so impolite. Actually, let's just check what's here. Nothing. Lore. Defeat all enemies. Pretty sure I can't. Yeah. As before, we need the shock room for that, for this encounter. Right. Then we come down here. Fully upgraded ones of those shoot in a cross. Right, and that just leads back to the teleport room, so we're not going to bother fighting that. Turning into a statue works on a lot of things. It doesn't work when you're standing in spikes, because you gotta stop being a statue eventually. You've taken a lot of damage. A lot of damage that we actually, in fact, did not have to take. We've just been playing very aggressively and very poorly. Knight's Chest is useless, because we already have a better one. Up, up. Come on. Died to one of you before. Not this time. Boo! MP increased. That's like the worst one. Well, it's the worst one for me, because I don't, like, use it. But... Alright, so... There we go. I don't normally deal with the wolves well. However, when we can turn into a statue and they just run into me and die of their own accord, that's another matter entirely. Well, I forget. Why did I not get this chest over here? Was it just I hadn't gone to that part of the room yet? Oh yeah, I need to go around and up top. Wait for you to cast your spell. Cast your last pathetic spell. Fine. There we go. Okay, more gold. Gold's nice. However, we're comparing to last run, and last run we ended with over 10,000 gold. And let's see, where are we headed? We want to just go straight right. Are there multiples? Alright, we still took a hit, which is not ideal. Yeah. See, I thought I would kill the skeleton in one hit, and when we didn't, we took damage for it. And we want to get rid of that, because that's just going to shoot us as we try to fight the other things. You know what? Wait for it. There we go. Where is it? There it goes. Okay, cool. Too many eyes. All shooting me from off screen. Thank you. Okay. No hedgehog curse, please. Huh. Parentable. Not too bad. It lets us not lose our gold next time we die. Okay, down we go. You break these. 2 strikes for you. I missed 2 out of 3 hits on them, so they didn't die on schedule. Crit? I only have like a 2% crit chance, right? Okay. This is fine, though. We'll check. Okay. Come on. Got him. Oh, it looks like an ad break started while we were fighting things. So we're gonna take a pause, do our standard health and wellness break. So please join me in taking better care of ourselves. Grab a drink, grab a snack, go to the bathroom, and we'll see you in 3 minutes.
Yes, oh. I'll take it over in 11 seconds.
Alright, we've returned. I hope everyone had a good break. I know I did. We got to take the sheets out of the dryer and put them on the bed, so that when we're done with stream, we can have a nice clean bed with sheets to get into. But for now, we have enemies to be defeating. Okay. We are continuing to get more gold, which is nice. Now, the thing is that we can kill these guys with the axe. Or if we want to take a bunch of hits, we can kill them with the, with just getting hit by stuff. But let's not do that. Stop running into things. Come jump at me, wolf. Thank you. Ooh, blood sword. Okay. So the blood sword is generally not as good as the blood other thing. Or wait, no. There are some blood things that are much better than others, simply based on what you give up to get them. And usually for the blood items, what you're giving up to get them is health. Like, you get lower max health in exchange for the ability to lifesteal. Which means, of course, you're losing your other source of sustain, because lower max health means less health from chickens. Actually, have I fully explored the castle this run yet? Or did I just immediately bail? The answer is neither. We have neither fully explored it, especially, most notably, we have not found the boss room. But we still had gone through a bit of it, at least. What do we get? A balance rune. Which, for those of you keeping track at home, that is the half lifesteal, half monosteel one. I didn't see the cannon there until too late. But we got double chicken drop, so it's all good. Oops, I actually didn't mean to hit that, but that's fine too. So, now we have found the boss room. What we haven't found is the way to the darkness. So, we go this way. Son of a bitch. Falling down and just, like, get sniped by a ranged guy as I fall. Okay. The good news is, we are back to full health and mana. So we can do a lot of things now. We got a lot of flexibility. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, here we go. The way to the darkness is open. Okay. What's over here? Ooh, we hit hard enough to kill the slimes in one hit. That's an excellent sign. There we go, okay. Alright. So there's a chest over here. Whoa. I did not mean to drop down there. I do love having armor, though. Because that hit would have hurt a lot more not too long ago. But we have armor now, so it's all good. We're still at like half of the money we had last time, though. But last time we did have a boss kill, I believe. Son of a bitch. This whole area is a trap. What I need to do is I need to remember that I am a paladin and I have a shield, which we can use to block things. But yeah, we were at full health and now we're at like half health. Yeah, so this whole area off to the left-hand side here has been a dead end, which is not the best. But I really, really want the, son of a bitch. Do we have another? Alright, we do have a healing thing. Alright, we have not found the boss room in the forest yet. So I think we're gonna go that way before we venture further into the darkness. Oh, hey, immediately paid off getting the chickens. Silver chest. Once again, not helpful. Silver chest is the one before Ranger. So ours is better. Yeah. It's like either he's gonna jump this, or he's just gonna fall in a hole and heal me for a little bit. Alright. Okay. Approaching these guys from the top down is way better than the alternative. Although if you position yourself properly beneath them, that's also not so bad. No fighting, okay. Which is different than the one we saw earlier, which was don't take damage. Alright, we found our boss room. We get some gold. We get a little bit of healing. We're gonna leave that alone. Of course, the other good thing about approaching these guys from below is if they're not on, or rather, is if they're on solid ground, like this one was, their shots don't go through solid ground. So we're just completely good to go there. Bonk. Are we greeting for 1 coin? Yep. We certainly are. Alright, off we go. Like, run away from the wolf, run away from the wolf, it's moving too fast. And, oh wait, no. We can turn into a statue, it's fine. Everything is fine, we panicked for no reason. We need to go down and then drop all the way down. Take a bunch of damage, because I forgot there was a spike ball there. Alright, alright. Don't suppose any of y'all would have some chicken for me, would you? Hey, there we go. So, now we want to take a look at our map. So, forest is not fully explored. There's that upper right section that we haven't done. We've gotten a lot of the Maya explored. We haven't explored much of the darkness, but... So, do we want to hit the Maya boss, is the thing. Or do we want to head back to the darkness, potentially? Let's see. Can we heal? No, we already used our healing. We haven't found the darkness's boss room, so we're gonna come down here and see if maybe we can do that. Just because... Oh, right, because it's this one. There we go. Oh, hey, chicken. Okay. There's a fire guy beneath me. Alright, one last guy. These guys are safer to get at from below. If you're above, their sword also reaches through these platforms. There we go. Yeah, that coin is just bait. I'm pretty sure I can get it, but I'm not 100% sure. We will keep the obol, actually. Okay, so... Is it worth spending the mana on that? I'm gonna say yes. I was not expecting to spend the health on it. Yeah, that was that went way worse than I anticipated because I took a hit. I thought I was gonna spend a bunch of mana in order to not take a hit, but instead, I spent both. Oh well, we get a little bit of healing back here, but not much. Like, we took 80 damage there, 90. We get to heal 8 back. Ooh. Squire cape? Squire? That's the lowest level of gear. Alright, that is still not the boss room. And I'm not gonna risk fighting that for a non-boss room. So we come back here, we come back out. We want to take the top left. Use this, go up. And we have to fight through this room. Yeah, this is the only part of the darkness we have left to explore. Alright, we are almost out of mana, so we can't block anymore. Or rather, I believe we can block one more hit. Okay, we have mana again, so we can block again. Nope. Not gonna get hit by that. Alright. The good news is, we are accumulating wealth. Right, fairy chest, defeat all enemies. We'll get to you in a minute. Haha, boss room. Sky helm. And gold. Random teleporter. No. Yeah, it's like, if there was a chest in there, I might fight the slimes. Man, they really want me to use the shock room. That's like the third fairy chest that wanted me to have that ability, and still none. Alright, well, I'm not going to fight that horse that spawns immediately there. So, I guess we're fighting the third boss now. Or wait, Alright. Can I get just this one to aggro me without the spirits? Come fight me. Answer appears to be no. Alright, so we took some hits. What did we get? A bounty rune on Dracers. That means more gold, but, you know, not ideal. Alright, so it is time to try to fight the third boss. So we're going to go through all of our teleport points, just in case we missed a healing item on one of them. Alright. So that's Darkness Teleport, Forest Boss, Castle Boss. Next we want Forest Teleport. More mana. Maya Teleport. Health. And then Maya Boss. Alright, Maya boss time. I could have sworn this guy was bigger. Well, at the very least, the one spike ball that hit me is now gone, because we took that retaliation rune. We're trying to get him to the very corners of the room, so that his fire trail wears off. Although he can screw us over, depending on whether or not he does his dash thing or not. Like, if he doesn't do it at all, we have more problems with the trail still being there. Which is why we're trying to bait him to the very corners. You see, until he dashed, we were really running out of space. Oh, but we got him, so... Ooh. Does this mean we go straight to the darkness boss? I think it might. Strength and magic damage. Not my preferred ones. Like, I like the strength, don't get me wrong, but I'd much prefer, like, health or armor over magic damage. Alright, so... There's a little bit of forest unexplored, there's a little bit of Maya unexplored, there's a little bit of castle unexplored. Let's go explore the last bit of the castle. Which is down, right. Hey. Why not? We get tiny, tiny bits of healing on the way. Alright, there are more guys here than I expected. We get a little bit more healing than I thought. And a chest. Not a ton of gold from the chest, but hey. I'll take the, 16 healing or whatever it was. Okay, so what's the correct route from here? Let's just go down. Actually, no, we'll go up. Because I had to go all the way around if I wanted to go down. Alright. Let's see if we can get 2 bosses in 1 life. Going in with a little bit over half health. Alright, come on, floaty boy. Okay. This is where that whole thing I mentioned earlier, where like the number of hits it takes makes things way, way different. Like, being able to kill the floating dudes in 2 hits instead of 3 would make this so much easier. In order to not get overwhelmed, we really want to target the smallest ones possible first. So we've gotten rid of all of the very smallest ones. Oh, we have not, in fact. Still 1. Yeah, this whole like needing 3 hits to break them. And 3 hits to kill the floating guys is really, really nasty. Like, 1 would be easy. 2 is kind of where I'd want to be on the like power scale, like as far as leveling is concerned, before doing it. But well, you can't always get what you want. Did that one just take 2? For some reason? Alright, we panicked a little bit there. It's fine, though. We are one-shot, though. Anything that hits us will kill us now. We're still one-shot. There's not enough healing. I think we stay one-shot for the rest of the fight. swear there's another, like, smallest guy, right? Yeah. He's sitting next to other guys. I wonder if I can statue this guy. I have a vague memory that he was immune to that trick, because it would just be really cheesy against him. But the more I think about it, the more I think maybe that's just a mana check. Just like, I mean, you can do it if you have the mana for it. Alright, there we go. Okay, there we go. We have broken another second smallest into a pair of smallest and taken out one of the splits. So we have the same number of slimes as before, but different sizes. Alright. Alright, there we go. Now we're down to these two mid-sized. Ooh, close. Very close. We still have a flying guy, though. Flying guy is stuck sideways, and we have a debuff on this character where we can't see in 3D. So when the sprites turn and they're sideways, they become invisible to us. Now, normally this only happens like while they are turning, but for some reason, that particular enemy decided that he wanted to stay in the middle of his turning animation, which made things very difficult for us. 2 more hits in on a small guy. Alright. We now have too many small guys floating around. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Well, there's 1 fewer than there were before. There were 4, now there are 3. Alright. Come on, guys. Separate out from each other a bit more for me, would you? Right. We now have 2 tiny ones and a medium-sized one. Oh, nope. Almost jumped into him. Alright. 1 small, 1 mid-size. Mid-size can't get to me immediately, neither can the small one. Alright. Just you and me, buddy. We have our aerial battle. Alright, now we're down to 2 second smallest slimes. Alright. 2 tiny ones, 1 small one. I think we're still 1 shot, but there's a possibility that we're not, because we're up to 50 health. One more hit on the tiny one. Oh, there we go. He drops chicken. Alright. Even still, we don't want to be super aggressive and take a hit, because there is still the last boss. Got him. Alright, so it is a 2-boss run. Sometimes you take the big DPS build, and sometimes you just take the all-rounder build, and it works out. Oh, perfect! Strength, armor, and health. What a time to be alive. Alright. It is time to go for the last boss. We have 24,000 gold. Does this area look familiar? It should. It's the tutorial section. Ooh. Whew. The 3 hits to kill a dude just really does not bode well. It is very nice that we got 2 pieces of chicken on our way in, though. Wait, I had that many? Oh, or maybe it's a fixed animation. In any case, he is going to wreck my shit. Lots of hit and run tactics. Oh, I tried to do a second dash, but I only have 1 dash. Alright, Hokage. Knave or Barbarian King? Which of these is best for the boss? I'm gonna say Barbarian King, probably? Makes the fight take forever, but... Or should we just Hokage and believe it in ourselves that we'll just dodge everything and do tons of damage? Do we want to believe in ourselves, or do we want to try to play it safe? We'll play it safe. Alright, so the question here is... we can put on a Grace Rune here to make him weaker. Alright, so actually the main question here is, do we want to go straight for him in our arrogance? Or do we want to be like, no, I'm going to go clear a bunch in the castle and then try to fight him, so that if we do die, we have a bunch more gold left? Oh, look, a sword. We lose 8 damage. That's way too much damage to lose. We gain 25 mana and 15 health. It's fairly expensive for that effect. Sky Chest is also fairly expensive, but it's 10 armor. Alright. Ten extra armor. We'll take a little bit of crit chance, because why not? And let's see, we can take a little bit more armor. Health is still, rather, damage is still super expensive, but it's also incredibly strong. But is it better than, like, 20 health? For bossing, it might be. Alright, we're just going to stack a bunch of health and a bunch of attack and hope it works out for us. Alright. Here's the moment of truth. We are gambling on this. We are choosing to believe in ourselves by just taking the fight directly. Instead of farming first. We have chosen poorly. Probably. Come on. Come on, come on. When he just walks me down in the corner without, like, jumping or shooting anything is where I have the biggest problem. Okay. Well, we made it to phase 2. But we played phase 1 really, really poorly. I still can't believe that hit me. Because it definitely should not have. Come on, you. You need to not stand in the exact middle, because he can teleport to the exact middle. And then we just die. Oh, but I greeted. Too greedy. Mage, no. Knave, no. Barbarian Queen, alright, we go for it again. I might be throwing the whole run by doing this, though. By actually just going for the kill instead of... instead of farming. But who knows? Maybe I'll be better this time. Come on. See, I need that second hit to land, otherwise he swings back. Come on. Okay. We got to second phase with more resources than last time. We are not one-shot. We have a small amount of mana. We just need to do it. We need to fight the boss. We're on life, I want to say 7? Maybe 8? Alright, so now we're gonna get knives. That's what I was actually talking about just a moment ago, about him teleporting to the middle, and why you don't want to stand in the middle, because he'll just teleport to you, and then you take damage, and you can't really do anything about it. Come on, man! Alright. Mission complete. You defeated me, but at what price? I may have slain the king, but only after you betrayed his people. Alright. So, what are we at? We're at just under 3 hours. And we'll see how many lives it took when we get to the very end here. So yeah, it's showing us all the different enemies and their different upgraded forms. You can see that because this was not on New Game Plus, you don't get that many different things. Like, you see that we have none of the fully upgraded ones here, none of the fully upgraded ones here. This is actually a mini-boss. We never found them. Like, we didn't even, like, see them and run away. We never found them at all. We did kill the fully upgraded zombie, though, with the statue trick. We killed 0 mimics. We just skipped all of those. We didn't fight this mini-boss at all. We did fight... Oh, we never got a fully upgraded Wraith. Alexander, of course, we got him. But yeah, I was not keeping count exactly, but I think it was like 7 or 8 lives. which the achievement requires under 12. 7 or 8 is not my best run, though. Question is, well, we won. What do we do for the rest of the stream? And the answer might be, we might end early, or we might try to do a different type of challenge run. Just depending. Because we could go for, like, speed run, as in, like, not fewest number of lives, but just fastest. And yes, there are different levels of the spikes. Not that they do that much different, they're just different sizes. Again, no fully upgraded slimes, except of course for the boss slime, Herodotus. Tower Guard, Hulk Guard, and Tall Guard. So we're just gonna chill with the music. We killed one wall turret and no spikes. And we got Johanna. And the fountain. The thing is, I don't know if skipping the credits skips the scene that tells us how many lives it took us. But yes, developed by Celador Games. So they actually also released a sequel to this. So Rogue Legacy came out in 2013, and I played it a bunch. I was relatively late to it. I don't think I picked it up until maybe 2015, 16? It was a while after it had come out. And they released a sequel in 2020. And I tried it, and I did not actually like it, which is funny, given that I've, like, put so many hours and fully completed, like, 100%ed the first game, but I think they indexed even harder into the, you're supposed to use a controller for this. And there was something about the way they did, like, the different special abilities, I think it was, in Rogue Legacy 2, that, because I'm most comfortable with the keyboard, I tried using it, and it's just, like, it just doesn't work right. Like, it's one of those things where, like, the keybinds make sense on controller, but it was just super awkward, and I couldn't really get a handle on the controls for the second one. Which is unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, here we go. Final screen. 7. Total children 7. Time played. Oh, only 2 hours and 13 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. But, you know, that does give us, like, approximately a 3-hour stream. I don't know where the other time went. Does, like, do load screens not count in the time played? Like, we took 2, like, health and wellness breaks, but that's only, like, 5-ish, or that's only, like, what, 8 minutes or so? And then... because we've definitely been live almost 3 hours, so... this time played is, let's see, 51, 13, 38 minutes shorter. And I know I didn't, like, just sit here talking the whole time in the beginning. Well, in any case, that is Rogue Legacy. It is an amazing game. You should totally get it. We can, of course, go in for New Game Plus if we wanted, but as it stands, 7 life victory. Pretty solid. If you're playing for the first time, don't expect to do that. But I put a stupid number of hours in. So let's go see if we can't find a raid target, shall we? Well, it appears that there's no one here to raid with, so I guess we're just going to not raid, which is fine. Okay. So, oh, I still had the first playthrough tag on. That is incorrect for this stream. It's true for most streams, but not this one. Oh well. So, we're not going to raid out, so we're just going to do a bit of a sign-off, just in case there is anyone still here. So, if you've liked Rogue Legacy, we have a bunch of other stuff coming up this week, also from the year 2013. Next up is going to be Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because the remake is coming out. And it lined up perfectly that we were doing games from 2013 this week anyway. So we're going to do Black Flag, and then we're going to do the Stanley Parable, I believe. So that's what's coming up this week. So if you want to see any of that, hit the buttons, subscribes, notifications, follows, all that sort of stuff. If not, I still appreciate you being here, spending some time hanging out with me tonight. We will end stream a little early, because we won a little early. And, yeah, hope to see you around, and good night.